What is on my agenda for this afternoon?
Professor Hanneman, may I have a moment of your time?
Ah, it's you. Very well. I am quite busy, but if you are here to discuss my crest research, I would be happy to oblige.
I'll pass on that offer. I'm just hoping you'll explain something to me.
Oh, I doubt if I have anything of particular interest to share.
Why did you abandon your noble standing in the Empire? And don't say it was for your crest research. There are institutes for that within the Empire. You could easily have remained a noble and still been able to visit Garrick Mach, or request the cooperation of the Church.
Certainly that was an option, but I desired a better research environment. Treasures and holy artifacts reside here that cannot be examined by someone outside the Church. I required access to those things, no matter the cost.
But surely your noble status would have allowed you greater funding and resources. Even secrets of the kingdom and the alliance would have been easier to obtain as a noble of the Empire.
What you say is true. I cannot deny that. Both paths have advantages and disadvantages.
I see you're unwilling to be forthcoming on that topic.
I don't know what you mean.
I've heard that you used to enthusiastically research crests for the Empire. You abandoned the Empire, yet retained your focus on crest research. I just wanted to know why.
I feel your suspicions of me are unwarranted. I haven't the time now, but perhaps I will tell you more if the opportunity arises. Ah, young Edelgard. This is your first time in this room, yes?
That's right. When I was a student, I avoided this place. I couldn't allow the Church to learn of my crests, after all.
True enough. But now you have come here by your own choice. Can I take that as an indication that you have come to trust me a little more?
I suppose so, though I'm still bothered by certain things.
Tell me, what things might those be?
Well, we're fighting to free the world from the Church's control and to unify Fodlan. You must have some idea of what the world I'm seeking to create will be like.
With the world freed from the powers of crests, Fodlan's system of nobility will collapse.
Precisely. Our current system is founded on the fact that crests are inherited through blood. If we shatter the status quo so that those without crests are no longer at the mercy of those with them, the very concept of nobility will vanish.
Why should that have any effect on me? I am no longer a member of the nobility.
Perhaps the fate of the nobility is of no consequence to you. But what about that of crests? You've devoted your life to unraveling their secrets. Whereas I seek to create a world where crests are no longer valued. In fact, I would prefer to rid the world of them entirely if at all possible. Does this not concern you?
I see. I think I finally understand why you've always seemed so unsure about me. You imagine your ambition might crush my dreams. I assure you, there is nothing to worry about. I support your plans and your ideals wholeheartedly. But at the same time, I also believe that the influence of crests will not be so easily quelled. That is why I must continue to research them and unravel all the secrets they hold.
I see. Professor Hanneman, I owe you an apology.
Whatever for? I'm not bothered by you investigating my past.
So you knew. You're right. I'm afraid I found it difficult to quell my doubts.
What happened? It was over 20 years ago. I suppose you had just barely been born, now that I think on it. My younger sister was afflicted by a disease of the heart, and she met with an early death. It is easy to lay blame for such things, but I considered crests themselves to be the root cause.
Your father bore a major crest, and both you and your grandfather inherited minor crests. Your sister was born without one, but as the daughter of a family in which crests are prevalent, others saw potential in her. That's why she was married off to a certain noble whose influence was waning. He was undoubtedly desperate for power. But no matter how many children she bore him, none manifested a crest. She fell from her husband's favor and was mistreated, ultimately leading to...
As an up-and-coming crest scholar at the time, I knew only despair. What was the use of my research if I could not even save my own sister?
That's why you abandoned your position in the Empire and came to Garrick Monk.
My sister is far from the only victim. Many noblemen have done the same to their own wives, and I despise them for it. So my quest began. I would unlock the secrets of crests, make them available to any who desired. If I achieved my goal, the nobility would be rendered obsolete, and my sister could finally rest peacefully. However, all these years later, I am still far from achieving my goal.
A world in which anyone can bear a crest. That's not so different from a world with no crests at all.
Quite right. And that is why I have chosen to fight by your side. I cannot say what lies in your past, yet I have seen your ideals and witnessed the power of your two crests. I feel certain that you too are a victim of this world, just like my dear sister.
Professor Hanneman, please say no more. I've made peace with my past. Now I look only to the future, to the world we're fighting to create.
Very well. But if you will allow it, there is one more thing I would like to say on the subject. When I look at you, I am reminded of my sister, and also of my own youth. Though I could not save my sister back then, I am different now. I can support you and lend you my abilities. I will fight for your cause in whatever way you need.
Thank you. That means a great deal to me. Your knowledge and your experience are both invaluable. And your passion, too. I welcome your support. And in turn, I will do my best to earn the trust you have placed in me.
Hubert, my boy, it's rather rare for the two of us to see one another with no one else around, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it is.
I was good friends with your father, you know. Perhaps this is fate, eh? Of course, when I left the Empire, I broke off my friendship with him. And, well, everyone else.
You were right to sever ties with such a miserable piece of filth.
Sharp words, Hubert. Contemptible though your father may be, he is still your father.
Don't overcomplicate it. I will not forgive him. Ever. Contemptible is just the right word for the wretch. Do you truly know what kind of man my father was?
I assume you're talking about the insurrection of the Seven. At the time, I was already at Garrick Monk. I know nothing more than hearsay. That said, I found it hard to believe that Lord Vestra would challenge the Emperor like that.
Yet that's exactly what he did. Since the dawn of the Adrestian Empire, House Vestra has served House Hresvelg as the Emperor's right hand. My father spat on a legacy of loyalty and devotion that had lasted 1,100 years. He conspired with the ministers to usurp power from the Emperor and Lady Edelgard.
In your father's defense, the Emperor was attempting to take power from the Seven Houses. The Emperor's reform was an attempt to concentrate power in the hands of the throne. The nobles put a stop to that. Emperor Ionius lost the ensuing power struggle.
Now it is the nobles' turn to suffer defeat. Her Majesty will crush all who oppose her.
You hope she can cease this never-ending conflict? That's quite a goal, Hubert.
I must thank you for lending your expertise to the aid of Her Majesty, Hanneman.
Your gratitude is wasted on me, Hubert. I choose this situation entirely because it benefits me. I could carry out my research anywhere, of course, but that is, as they say, beside the point.
Is that so?
Hubert, there's something I want to tell you. Will you hear me out?
Depends what it is.
It concerns your father.
Then no, absolutely not.
Oh, by all means, cover your ears and run out of the room. I'll still speak the words, for I feel that I must. Your father, the Marquis of Vestra, well, rather the former Marquis of Vestra, was a selfless man. He was practical and never sought power for the sake of power. In that respect, you and he are rather alike. Do you think such a man would so easily betray his emperor, even if led astray by the Prime Minister?
Clearly, yes. That's exactly what he did. He played a large part in the assault on the palace, personally spearheaded the Emperor's capture. The thought of those treacherous arms reaching out for Her Majesty. It is truly upsetting.
Agreed. Facts are facts. The palace walls are stuffed with countless truths, all of them concealed by the stones and mortar of fact. I hoped you would have the capacity to see the unfettered truth. But I fear that where your father is concerned, your eyes may see only what you wish them to see.
I'll take that under advisement.
Feel free to ignore me. I know full well I have my own blind spots. It's just, I believe your father had something he was trying to protect. Bearing a stain on his honor, being purged by his own son, all in the name of protection. I speak from knowledge, as someone who failed to protect something I held dear.
Let's say you're right. Suppose he did it to protect something he cared about. It doesn't matter. Doesn't change his actions or my judgment of them. My father was a traitor to House Hresvelg, and he deserved what he got. That was me protecting something I care about.
Ah, I can see the right of that. You have chosen your own path, Hubert. Continue protecting what you wish to protect, and I shall support you from the bottom of my heart. Ah, Linhardt. Reading as studiously as ever, I see. Anything to do with crests?
Hello, Professor Hanneman. Actually, this book's about fishing.
I didn't realize you were interested in fishing. What an unexpected discovery. I had heard that you were only interested in crests, to the exclusion of all else. As it were, I had rather thought I could train you as my successor, should we get to know one another better.
I'm sorry to betray your expectations. Truth be told, I've been thinking of giving up on my crest research.
What? Whatever for? Don't tell me you believe fishing to be a more worthwhile pursuit.
No, it's nothing to do with fishing. I adore the subject of crests. But to study them, you have to consult the people who bear them, right? I just don't have the energy for that.
It is an unavoidable hardship, I admit, but the satisfaction of making a real breakthrough is second to none.
I'm sure the satisfaction of catching a fish is pretty great too.
Consider this, child. Luring fish from the depths pales in comparison to untangling the mysteries of a quest. Why? It all comes down to purpose. Purpose, I say.
Calm down. I get it. Really.
Evidently, you do not. You must have something to work toward in life. The ultimate goal of fishing is to eat the fish. The goal of solving the mysteries of crests is, well, you must find that for yourself. What do you hope to uncover once everything is finally explained? What motivates you to keep digging deeper?
I had never thought about it like that. Perhaps if I did have a goal, I might share your enthusiasm on the subject. Professor Hanneman, do you have a moment?
Linhardt, of course.
Last time we talked, you mentioned the importance of having goals. I gave it some thought, and in the end, I couldn't find one.
Well, no need to panic. Sometimes a goal can reveal itself to you without warning.
What's your goal, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, mine? I want to create a world where everyone can access the power of crests, where no one has to suffer from having or not having that power.
Huh, that's a pretty big dream. But then wouldn't you end up studying everyone? In that world, you'd be killing yourself trying to do research on every person alive.
Ah, you may be right. But at least then, we wouldn't be the only ones taking such pains. The more people who have crests, the more people who will do research. And with more students, the research will progress far faster than it is today. That also means there would be less of the back and forth you don't have the energy for, which should make you happy.
Maybe so.
Does that still do nothing to pique your interest?
To be brutally honest, it would be way less exhausting, but less satisfying as well. That's like fishing at a market.
So you at least understand that much. That is why I do research. If someone's going to see results someday, then I want it to be me. That's a thought that keeps me moving forward, even when it is difficult to do so.
That sounds like enthusiasm. That's not something I have. But if we work together, I wonder if it would spark that enthusiasm.
Are you saying you would agree to study crests with your old professor?
In the end, I think it would probably be more interesting than fishing alone. I don't even have anyone to show any big fish I catch.
Oh, as it were, I feel very much like someone who's made a catch. But the future shall hold even greater things than that. That's a promise. Time to relax.
Professor Hanneman, do you have a moment to talk?
Of course, Miss Dorothea. Whatever is on your mind.
I heard you were once a member of the nobility, and you surrendered your title to come here.
Indeed, I was a noble once. Why are you so curious about that?
I knew there was something noble about your speech and your perfect manners. You're always impeccably dressed, too, and you have a certain pride about you. What interests me is that you threw it all away. Why?
I threw nothing away, child. In fact, by stepping away from its trappings, in my heart I feel closer than ever to the true meaning of nobility.
How so?
Consider this. At its inception, the concept of nobility assumed that the greatest among the populace would rise to power. In my mind, I believe that means those who value knowledge, those who strive for more and wish to protect and guide their fellow man. However, in practice, nobility often serves to keep those deemed commoners down, segregated from those who, by chance, were born to a noble family. That is one of the reasons I decided to leave that nonsense behind and dedicate myself to the study of crests. Though I have abandoned my position, in my mind it was to pursue what I consider to be a truly noble pursuit, that of knowledge.
I see. Well, you're definitely a noble in that sense of the word. To pursue such admirable ideas without regard for your social position. How wonderful.
Pardon?
Oh, it's nothing. I was just very moved by your words.
Ah, well, I'm quite pleased to hear you say so.
Professor Hanneman, how unexpected.
Hello, Miss Dorothea. There is something I would like to ask you, should you have a moment.
And whatever would that be, Professor?
Ah, it's just some rumor I heard about your prejudice against the nobility. You remember when you came to me before and we talked about how I used to be noble? I was just wondering what your aim was.
To clarify, I only hate nobles who are obsessed with their status. You're not that kind of man, Professor. I mean that, really. And it sounds like you never were.
I see. But hating nobles obsessed with their status, you must have had some terrible experience in the past. Ah, my apologies. That was rather presumptuous.
No, it's fine. As I'm sure you know, I was a highly praised songstress for a time. Before I was a singer, though, I was an orphan. And before that, I was the daughter of a noble's maid.
My goodness! From an orphan to a renowned songstress. That is quite a life you have led, Miss Dorothea.
Well, I don't remember much of my early years. My father was never there, and my mother was driven out of the noble house where she worked. Before long, she fell ill. I was always alone, and I lived in the alleys of the imperial capital, just trying to survive from one day to the next.
I see.
Eventually, after I became a singer, I met the nobleman that I think is my father.
Oh.
He'd had a child with a maid, but the child didn't have a crest. So he threw them both away. Those were his very words. I can't prove that he really was my father, but I suppose it doesn't matter. He didn't know who I was. And when he flirted with me, my feelings were something beyond fury. I was dumbfounded. In truth, I felt that way about all of the nobles who flocked around me, yet would just as easily have tossed me away should it better suit them.
You have my most heartfelt of apologies, Dorothea. I am afraid my curiosity has opened old wounds. Sadly, it is undeniable that the nobility is full of such terrible people. Perhaps even myself.
Professor?
Oh, it is nothing. Just lost in a memory of my own. Just know that I will do my part to ensure that you always know kindness in this world.
Thank you.
Dorothea, my dear, you must be tired from the extended fighting. May I get you anything?
Thank you, Professor Hanneman, but I'm fine.
You don't appear fine. Make sure not to overexert yourself. The war is not yours alone to fight. You have friends to rely on. We are here for you, always.
Thank you, but I really am fine. It's nice to know you're always thinking of me, though.
Well, of course. You're like a...
Like a what?
Nothing. You're a very good friend. That's all. And once the war is over, I want to be sure you have a pleasant life.
Is that so? It sounds like you're getting a little ahead of yourself, planning for the end of the war.
Ahead of myself? No, I don't think so.
Oh? You sounded like you were building up the courage to give me something. Something, small and round and ring-shaped?
Uh-huh. A ring, you mean? Well,
Oh, no. Am I wrong? I'm so embarrassed. I misunderstood.
Oh my! That's what you were thinking. I've misled you. I see now I phrased things all wrong. I had no other intentions, I swear. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I could forgive you if you proposed properly. You got me excited, you know?
But I haven't.
It's okay. I'm just teasing. Don't look so scared.
Teasing? Ah, well, of course.
It's nice just to know you care about me. Maybe we should talk more about the future in the future. How's that sound?
Why, it sounds lovely. Quite lovely. And that should explain it. Did you understand all of that, young Annette?
I did. Thank you very much. Oh, but I was also wondering about this part here. It seems a bit off.
Questioning something like this is proof that your understanding has grown. Most impressive. Sit there, and I'll put this on the blackboard so you may copy it into your notes for later study.
Wonderful. I can't wait.
I believe that should explain everything, yes? Any further questions?
None. Thank you so much. I feel so great. I'm really sorry for taking up so much of your time, though.
Not at all. Not at all. Your intellectual curiosity is marvelous to see. And you have a top-notch character. Keep on as you are, and I sense a bright future for you.
Really? That's so nice of you to say. I'll do my best. I'm honored to be your student.
If only your friends would learn from your example. Yes, a classroom full of attentive, studious pupils would be quite refreshing after all these years. Have a good evening, Miss Annette, and do not hesitate to ask any other questions.
I won't, thank you. Goodbye for now.
Wait, you'll trip if you leave like that.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you for volunteering to clean this room, Miss Annette. Most appreciated.
Don't worry about it. It's the least I can do to repay you for all you've taught me. It seems like a small payment, honestly. I wish I could do more.
In that case, I have nothing to worry about. Do make sure you get the bookshelf as well. Be thorough.
The bookshelf? But it's not even dusty.
Dirt always lurks in the places you can't see. Best of luck on your hunt.
Oh, okay. Leave it to me. Oh, there are a lot of rare books here.
Miss Annette, please stop jumping on the stool. You'll tumble down and crack your skull.
Huh? Whoa!
Miss Annette, are you all right? Can you stand?
Yes, I'm fine. Sorry.
What a blessing. Neither the books nor yourself came to any harm. Here, I'll help you clear them up. Oh, my. The inside of this bookshelf is quite filthy.
So dirt was lurking in the places we couldn't see, just like you said.
And we found it thanks to all the books falling. Every cloud has a dusty lining.
This dirt is really bothersome.
Agreed. Shall we endeavor to get rid of it together?
You can count on me.
Steady. Don't go leaping about in your enthusiasm.
There's a lot of dust there. It looks like nobody's cleaned it in ages. No, I just can't leave it. It must be cleaned. No, can't quite reach. Just a little further. If only I was taller.
Miss Annette, If you carry on like that, I dare say the bookshelf shall give out in a few moments' time.
Professor Hanneman! Thank you so much. There is just so much dust up there.
I understand. I had noticed it myself, actually, and was just on my way to get a cloth for it. How about you leave this part to me?
Okay, thank you.
No need to thank me. I must admit I'm rather impressed by your keen dust-spotting eye.
I just couldn't rest easy thinking that we hadn't finished cleaning in here.
I'm quite the same. How anyone can abide dust, even hidden dust, well, I can't grasp the idea.
You and I are like two peas in a pod. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a bit rude of me.
We do seem to be similar in a number of ways, yes? So I have a spot of advice for you, if you don't mind.
Yes?
Next time you identify a dusty patch in an inaccessible location, please send for me.
That's very kind, but I wouldn't want to bother someone as busy as you.
Nonsense. I'm keen to avoid a repeat performance of the tragedy of Miss Annette and the books.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry about that. Right. Next time, I'll definitely call for you.
Indeed. I would never forgive myself if you managed to pull a whole bookcase over on yourself.
I promise that won't happen. Most likely. I'm so sorry for always taking up your time, Professor Hanneman.
Nonsense. I told you to come to me anytime you needed help. Nothing to be sorry about at all. So what can I help you with today, Miss Annette?
Oh, nothing in particular.
Perhaps not related to your studies, but I sense something else troubles you.
You see right through me, Professor Hanneman. Okay, here goes. The truth is, I've been wondering what I'll do when the war finally comes to an end.
Your marks at both the School of Sorcery and the Military Academy were exceptional. You have many, many options. The only trouble I see for you is in picking which one to chase.
You've hit the nail on the head. There's so much I want to do. I feel completely lost.
Lost, It seems to me that you're just lacking in decisiveness.
You think so?
For example, I've already been considering my own future once this war ends at last. I think I might leave Garrick Mach. I've spent a great deal of time researching crests, both in the Empire and at the monastery. Fodlan is large, with much to see and learn. It would be a shame to spend all my years in too few places.
But where will you go?
That's the question, isn't it? I've considered the School of Sorcery in Ferdiad. It would be good to get a new viewpoint on crest research. There are certainly discoveries to be made. However, new places are daunting. Yet I'd have no complaints if I had a former student as an apprentice. Say, a former student who is brimming with curiosity, talented at magic, and as tidy as myself.
You don't mean me, do you?
I was merely expressing a possibility. It all depends on your own feelings and interests.
I have considered that it might be nice to be a professor like you. But I'm such a scatterbrain, and I make mistakes all the time, so I'm not confident I can manage.
Those are but minor side notes compared to your wonderful qualities, Miss Annette. You are serious in your studies and possessing of excellent character. You surpass even myself.
Do you really think so? Maybe I can do it after all.
I truly feel you could. Yes, you could accompany me to Ferdiad. I think that would be most splendid, don't you?
I feel like, with your guidance, I could excel anywhere.
First, though, we must put an end to this war. The future cannot begin until we achieve victory.
That's true. I'm gonna try my hardest to make sure that happens.
I know you will, Miss Annette. You have my full support.
Phew, that about wraps it up for today's training. No thanks to a certain distraction. Professor Hanneman, I know you're there. It's extremely unsettling the way you're always staring like that.
Oh, my apologies, child. I was trying to remain inconspicuous, not wanting to interrupt.
Your half-hearted attempt to hide your weird staring only makes it weirder.
Well, I must apologize. In the future, I shall do my staring out in the open.
That might ease the weirdness, but it will continue to be extremely unsettling.
I have no desire to disturb nor to disquiet you, but you are a most exquisite subject for my crest research. And you understand that the foundation of all research is observation.
I understand well enough, and I'll do my best to ignore it. But in return...
Do not worry. Your secret is safe with me. I have not spoken a word of your twin crests to anyone.
Shh! Don't talk so loudly about it out here in the open.
Pardon my excitement. I simply cannot let the opportunity to study such a miraculous subject go to waste.
These awful crests may seem miraculous to you, but for me, they fall under the category of curse.
I hope one day you will share more about your tragic origins whenever you have the time to recount it. Your tale may contain valuable information.
You are utterly lacking in empathy. You know that? Even if you spent your entire life observing me, you'd never understand my feelings and all I've been through. Now, if you'll excuse me.
I fear I may have made a misstep. I have no desire to trouble her, yet my research...
Professor Hanneman, is this a good spot for this book?
That will do nicely, Lysithea. I'm sorry to trouble you with these chores.
It's no trouble. After all, it's proper etiquette for the young to help the elderly.
The elderly? I'm only... never mind. How have you been feeling of late? Anything worth mentioning?
I've been feeling well enough, all things considered.
You seem to be maturing remarkably. No doubt your well-being is due to the positive influence of your twin crests working in tandem.
Here he goes with the positive again. Looks like your research is more useless than I thought.
I may ignore your assaults on my age, but I will not allow unfettered attacks upon my research. What makes you think it's lacking? Surely you do not deny that your crest-related abilities exceed those of your peers. You are so far ahead of the others. Even the combined effects of the twin crests you bear do not fully account for that discrepancy.
You just can't see beyond the crest, can you? In all your research, haven't you considered that my abilities are a direct result of the effort I put in?
Of course, I am aware that you are a hardworking student, but...
My efforts far exceed those of any other student. I place top priority on growing as quickly as possible.
Is the ability to expend such incredible efforts, to be so focused and driven, is that not a form of talent?
It has nothing to do with talent. It's a question of sheer will. I'm determined to succeed, no matter the sacrifice.
I see, but what drives you to such lengths?
I have goals, just like anyone, and precious little time in which to achieve them.
Little time?
The people who made me as I am informed me that my life would be drastically shortened as a result. A person bearing two crests against the will of nature itself. Well, clearly it can't be sustainable. As such, I don't indulge in the luxury of fantasizing about the future. I haven't got one. Knowing all this now, will you still claim that my crests are something positive?
I cannot. Please understand, I had no idea.
I'll be leaving now.
Lysithea, so that is why you are...
Did you want something, Professor Hanneman?
Ah, Lysithea, thank you for coming. First, I ask that you allow me to apologize. I fear I hurt you with my insensitive words. I have failed you, not as a researcher, but as a human being.
I'm the one who should apologize. I'm sorry for being rude to you. Anyway, I'll keep going along with your research. I have to be on my way now.
Please, Lysithea, a moment more. I did not call you here simply to apologize. I told you once that you were an exquisite subject for my crest research. Why? Because there are no records of any other person ever having borne 2 crests.
Correct.
We cannot say anything for certain about the makeup of your body. Therefore, it seems hasty to conclude that overcoming your shortened lifespan is an impossible feat.
What is it you're implying?
Lysithea, what is my field of study?
Crestology, of course.
Indeed, and the goal of my field is to unravel every single mystery crests might conceal. Someday, I even hope to devise a means to bestow a crest upon any who desires one.
Why would you want to do such a thing?
Because I despise this world in which the presence or absence of a crest can determine a person's worth. However, if artificially implanting a crest causes too great a toll on the subject, it would be useless. As such, reducing the strain of crests on the human body is one of my research goals. Understanding how to implant a crest might also lead to the knowledge of how to remove them, yes?
Do you think removing a crest could mean that they won't suffer from its effects any longer?
What I am trying to tell you is, the question of whether your lifespan can be restored is entirely within the scope of my research.
Could you really do that?
It is difficult to say for sure, but as long as the possibility exists, I will continue to seek it. Lysithea, let me ask you once more. Will you assist me in my research?
Professor Hanneman, I think I'm the one who should be asking for your help, really. Anyway, I'm sick of a crest determining a person's worth, too.
Ah, is that right? Perhaps you would even like to begin studying crestology yourself. I think you would make a fantastic apprentice. A life devoted to research is a noble life, you know.
If you do manage to restore my lifespan, I'd certainly think about it.
I will hold you to those words. Ah, I see a fine future ahead of us.
I should head back.
Finished with your training, Miss Marianne?
Oh, Professor Hanneman. Yes, I've just finished training for the day.
You have merely completed the exercises assigned to you, yes? Nothing more? Or am I wrong?
Yes. I'm sorry. I should have done more.
No, please. You've done as you were asked. Quite solid work, child. I simply wish to ask a question. You possess a crest, do you not? When you entered the Officers' Academy, your father submitted a request to the monastery, as well as a significant donation. Your father asked that your crest not be confirmed, under any circumstances. At first, I thought he did not want the world to know that his daughter bore no crest. In your father's position as a newly minted noble, it would be most advantageous for his daughter to possess a crest, you see. However, I am now certain I was wrong. I believe you do, in fact, possess a crest of some sort.
How did you find out?
I have been called the Father of Crestology, which is a bit of an ostentatious title, I admit. However, a brief period of observation allows me to hazard a usually accurate guess as to whether a body houses a crest or not. With the knowledge of your father's actions and my own observations, I come to you with a warning. As a crest bearer, you are guaranteed to have certain talents. It is prudent to study your crest diligently to ensure your safe mastery of these talents, whatever they may prove to be.
No, I have no talents.
Oh, yes, you do. No matter how hard you may try to hide it, my sight is keener than that. And what I see, others will eventually notice as well. Those who hold power must wield it in the service of their fellow man, Miss Marianne. I believe that is true, whether you are peasant or noble, and doubly true, I would say, for those with crests. Or do you think I'm wrong? On principle alone, it is a waste to allow a rare talent to remain dormant. I would like very much to advise you to aid your understanding of your crest. Will you accept my offer?
No, I refuse.
That is regrettable. A veritable tragedy, Miss Marianne.
Professor Hanneman, you wanted to speak with me?
Miss Marianne, hello. Do pardon the mess. Please have a seat.
Of course.
I have been puzzling over why your father would wish to conceal your crest. And I have arrived at a conclusion. Would you like to hear it?
No, I would rather not.
Ah, fair enough. Then I will keep it to myself. However, if my theory is correct, well, then it is only natural for you and your father to try keeping your crest a secret. That said, I feel I would be remiss if I didn't point out that I consider this decision a most grievous error.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Crests never manifest in someone unfit to bear them. Which means, Miss Marianne, you have the ability to make the most of your crest, because it is, by definition, your crest.
I have no desire to make use of my crest.
But it can be of service to you, and I would venture to suggest, to the world at large.
Ever since I was born, that crest has been nothing but a burden to me. My parents, too.
Ah, that's right. I have heard that you were adopted. Did one of your birth parents also have that crest?
Yes, it was my father.
Then that crest is evidence that you are your true father's daughter. Concealing it, hiding that truth from the world, is denying your true parentage, is it not? I'm not suggesting you flaunt your crest. That would be highly unnecessary, possibly even dangerous. I simply wish you to accept who you are.
Accept it?
Accept the crest and allow its power to come forward. Then it will open itself to you. Whatever the crest may be, whatever its origin or its nature, it can serve you. It is yours to command, however you wish.
Mine?
Nobody can decide how to use your crest, Miss Marianne. That choice is yours alone.
I will think about that. Professor Hanneman?
Why, hello, Miss Marianne. A visit from you is a rare pleasure indeed.
I wanted your opinion on something.
Oh, how intriguing. Whatever is on your mind.
I'm beginning to feel that I should accept who I am. I thought it might be time to change my training regimen, to utilize my crest, even if just a little.
What a splendid thought. Quite exceptional. May I ask how it is you've reached this conclusion? I admit, I did not imagine my words would do much to sway you.
The truth is that I was already considering it before we spoke. All of my allies work relentlessly to achieve their goals, both on and off the battlefield. Seeing this, it occurred to me that I have nothing to work toward. I'm no use to anyone. If I could accept who I am, even a little, I might be able to change that. I was still considering, but after we spoke about it, well...
Well, indeed. So it seems my words resonated with you after all.
I'm sorry. I know I'm not the best at communicating. But it's true. Your words gave me a lot to think about. They helped me come to this decision. Whatever my crest, it should serve me.
That's it. Exactly right, Miss Marianne.
That's not to say I've accepted it completely, but I refuse to continue living in fear of myself.
I have every confidence that you will succeed at drawing out your crest's full strength. And I intend to help you at every step. If you'll have my help, that is.
Of course. Your knowledge is much appreciated.
I know you are there, Hanneman.
Well, are those crest documents? Ah, Seteth, have you finally decided to cooperate with my research?
Absolutely not. For 21 years I have refused your requests. I have no intention of changing my mind. But I will lend you these documents I have found, on the condition that you stop following me.
I am quite tempted by the offer, but your cooperation would be of much greater value. Your crest, the major crest of Keyhole, is so rare. As far as I am aware, Seteth, you are the only person ever confirmed to bear that particular crest. How did you come to possess it?
My answer is the same as every other time you have asked. I do not know. I was born a commoner with no connections to any crests. There are no records of my lineage.
Oh, please. That thin explanation could never discourage me. You must understand, I will dig until I find the truth, no matter how long it takes.
You are wasting your time. I cannot give you the answers you seek. Even if you were to discover the reason why I bear the major crest of Keyhole, I doubt it would satisfy you.
That is for me alone to decide. And even if you are correct, that confirmation itself would be a valuable discovery. Such is the way of research, yes?
I'm afraid I cannot attest to that. I'm no scholar. In any case, if you really have no need for the documents, you will not mind if I dispose of them.
Let's not do anything hasty now. I will leave you alone, for now, but I am taking these documents with me. Once I complete my research on these papers, it'll be your turn, Seteth. I will learn the truth of your crest.
It is a pointless endeavor. You will learn nothing from me, no matter how much you try.
Perhaps his stubborn nature is one of the effects of his crest. Now that would be an interesting discovery. The first stage of my research will be to decipher his personality. Good day to you, Seteth.
Persistent, aren't you? If this is about my crest...
No. I thought we might speak of something else for a change.
Is that so?
Indeed. I am quite fond of conversation, even just for the sake of conversation. Just listen to an old man's worries, eh?
Very well. Go ahead.
Perhaps it's due to my age, but I've been troubled by lower back pain lately. Right now, I'm in the process of finding a good way to treat it.
If it is an ointment you're after, I think Manuela would know more than me.
Doesn't it make you nervous to rely on Manuela? I do not mind asking her about the pain itself, but...
What are you trying to say?
Oh, nothing. I'm only lamenting the fact that I am getting old. It is a pastime I'm not sure I enjoy. Yet I can't help but notice time hasn't taken such a toll on you.
Well, the signs of age may not write themselves plainly on my face, but I feel the strain of years as much as you.
Is that right? But then, that doesn't explain your sister. Your sister, Flame, was born around the time I came to the monastery from the Empire, yes? In all that time, I never knew you to pay her a visit or to write her letters. Yet somehow, the two of you seem very close, like a family who has spent years together. Could this not suggest a different interpretation? Perhaps, like you, she has...
You will not pry into Flame's business. If you interrogate her, no. If you even so much as inquire where she has been or what she has done, I will never forgive you. Never. Investigate me all you wish. I will even cooperate if I must. But Flame...
Calm down, Seteth. I have no intentions of approaching Flame.
Do I have your word on that?
You have my word as a scholar and as a man. I do apologize for using your sister's name in that way.
Using her? What do you... Oh, that is low.
You promised me just now. Investigate me all you wish, you said. I will even cooperate, you said. Do you deny it? Those words were all I needed to hear. Now I have no cause to approach your sister.
It seems I have no choice. To think I have been played the fool by a man of your age.
I'll let that slight go, now that I have your cooperation.
Even with my cooperation, there is no guarantee you will reach the truth.
Oh, Seteth, searching for the truth is what I do. And I will find it. I promise you that.
Then I suppose I will have to look forward to the day you prove your claims.
Manuela, isn't it a bit rude to sigh at someone the moment you see them enter the room?
Hanneman, isn't it a bit rude to tell others how to behave? Besides, I could be sighing about any number of things more interesting than you.
Goodness, you're unusually irritable today. Don't you imagine your attitude a bit excessive? You snap at every little thing, your ill mood on display for one and all. It saddens me to see such behavior from one who should be setting a good example for the younger generation.
Well, listen to the noble lecturing a lowly commoner to be on her best behavior. Oh, wait, I meant to say the former noble.
I fail to understand how my birth is relevant to the topic at hand. I was merely trying to say that as a fellow adult...
You're not done lecturing yet? Leave me alone and go pester someone else. Maybe leave everyone alone and go focus on your precious crest research.
I don't know what to say to you, Manuela. I was only speaking out of honest concern.
Oh, was that a sigh I heard? Isn't it a bit rude to sigh at someone just because...
Don't be so childish. You are so sensitive to ill will from others, yet you let your own emotions run wild. Why is it that you cannot keep a handle on yourself?
Keep a handle on? Well, I've never. What makes you think you're so much better? Just because you keep your emotions bottled up behind your stupid stony face, well, it doesn't mean everyone else has to do the same. Stop telling everyone how to behave, Hanneman. It will make you and the rest of us much happier.
I will not stand for this insolence. It is high time someone taught you.
Go on! If you think you can change me, I'd like to see you try. Thought so. You wouldn't dare.
Absolutely insufferable. Manuela, I would like to apologize. The other day, I said some things to you that I am, well, not proud of in the least.
Oh no, Hanneman. It is I who should be apologizing. I behaved in just the most dreadful manner. I was just lashing out at everything. You were right to call me out. Really. And I do very much mean this. I'm so sorry for my behavior.
No, please, pay it no mind. Actually, I'm thankful for what you said during our conflict.
Thankful?
Yes, you made me realize that I have a somewhat meddlesome nature. Thanks to you, I believe I found an area in which I can improve myself.
I could say the same thing, you know. Your accusations, they really hit home. After I cooled down, I realized you were right. I really ought to try and keep my emotions a bit more under control.
Well, that's good to hear. It seems this wasn't a fruitless clash for either of us.
Oh, indeed. There's nothing more depressing than a pointless fight, is there? Don't you wonder, though, just how many times we've had this same argument?
We do always seem to be at one another's throats before we even realize it. I don't know how we manage to keep it up.
You're not wrong. Something the matter, Hanneman?
Well, it's just, you don't smile like that very often. But when you do, it is quite charming. Perhaps your struggles in love are due to your reliance on false affection instead of your more natural charms.
Well, thank you for the compliment. Even if you did have to spoil it with criticism. If you weren't so judgmental all the time, maybe you'd have had more luck in romance yourself.
What? Manuela, as your friend, I was only trying to give you a useful bit of advice.
And that so-called advice is exactly why I call you meddlesome and overbearing.
There it is. Manuela begins to protest even when she knows the fault lies with the...
You keep doing things that aren't called for. It's driving me batty.
You presuppose I am only thinking of you.
Let's just not do this, shall we? I don't know why we always end up fighting.
It can hardly be helped. You and I seem opposed to one another on a, let's call it an instinctual level. Perhaps this could even be considered a form of fate.
What an awkward fate to have. I'd like you a lot more if I just hated you. All this fighting and making up is just exhausting.
Agreed, yes. It does feel as if we have fallen into a rather tiresome bit of repetition.
What a waste of effort. We're absolutely hopeless, the both of us. Here's a thought. Couples who are similar to one another, share the same views and all that, they're pretty successful. But complete opposites work together too. Surprisingly well sometimes. They compensate for each other's weaknesses and they support one another. Then I look at how hard we work just to avoid screaming at each other, and I don't buy it.
Don't be so hasty to dismiss your own hypothesis. For instance, I am apt at cleaning, but have no talent for cookery, whilst you loathe cleaning, but are a splendid chef. Would it not be an easier life if, rather than struggle through our weaker areas, we divided the work?
I suppose our differences do have their advantages that way.
Indeed. If we combine our abilities, housework would be conquered and dinner rendered delicious. There are other ways we could find to support one another, I would imagine. We might make a better pair than you think. You and I, together.
Huh. You might be onto something. You and I could be pretty good together. Wait, why are we talking about this? Are you trying to propose marriage with promises of clean floors? You think I'm that easy of a catch? Honestly.
I did no such thing. You were the one who started discussion on the topic in the first place. You were agreeing
so this
with
is
me.
my fault
If you
now?
have objections,
I never said
then
a
let's
word
hear
about
them. Why, it's Gilbert. Training on a day off? That man will never change, nor rest, apparently. Is there any need to be so diligent when nobody is watching? Ah, well, at least I can bear witness.
Professor Hanneman, is there something you need?
Ah, you noticed me. No, not at all. I was simply observing. I apologize for disturbing you.
You've done nothing worthy of apology. Although I fail to understand why you would watch my training.
Oh, well, I watch because I find it quite interesting. Your movements are most refined with no unnecessary motions. Elegant is the word, I think. I find it quite satisfying to observe. In fact, I might say I was mesmerized.
Is that so?
If only you showed a bit more emotion on your face, just to sell the rest of it. You come off a bit tense.
Training is difficult, a strain on the body. Surely it is natural for one to be tense.
Oh, I know well how difficult training can be. But in your case, it's as though you're punishing yourself.
I'm sorry, it's simply how I am.
No. What do I know of your training? My criticism was perhaps unnecessary. Still, I do feel you are too hard on yourself. Would it not be easier to live a little more freely? Find something that makes you happy and embrace it wholeheartedly. It would do you a world of good.
I thank you for your advice, Professor Hanneman, but I cannot live as you do. Such a way of life is not permitted to me. Now, if you will pardon me, I will return to my training.
Not permitted? I think the only one not permitting you joy, dear Gilbert, is yourself. Your face looks stiff as ever, Gilbert.
As I said before, I cannot change my nature.
Understood. And I suppose seeing you train with an expression of glee would be rather unsettling. Still, you finished for the day, yes? Would you join me for tea and perhaps a chat?
Professor Hanneman, may I ask a question first?
Certainly. Ask away. I'll answer whatever is within my power to do so.
Why concern yourself with me? I have no crests. I'm of no particular use to you.
Whatever are you talking about? I don't speak to you out of some ulterior motive. Certainly, I have previously approached others because of my research interests. That is not the case here. I merely wish to get to know you.
You wish to know me?
Yes. It is not often I have the opportunity to find friends my own age, you see. Well, regardless of how you feel, speaking for myself, I already consider you something of a friend. You must have heard of my tenacity. It will prove easier if you accept my offer of friendship now. Was that a laugh? A rarity for you, Gilbert. Can I take that to mean we are friends indeed?
I see no reason not to be so.
Well, I am honored. Then, as a first step, I would like it if we could find a common interest, a hobby to engage in, something the younger folk would not appreciate and may even be irritated by.
I look forward to it.
Another laugh. I must say, we make a better duo than I first expected. My, look at the time. I really should retire for the evening.
Professor!
Oh my, who's there? Aloise? Well now, wherever did you come from?
I came in through the door.
Came through the... Try doing so with a bit less volume in the future. Now then, why are you visiting at such a late hour?
I'm looking to enlist the services of a magic wielder. I thought you might be the man for the job.
You're a knight, Aloise. Why would I teach you magic?
You're a teacher, weren't you?
Perhaps you should ask one of your friends already trained in the magical arts. I am tired and would very much like to turn in for the evening.
Slow down there. I heard a rumor you were looking for novice magic users. Did I hear wrong, or am I just an unsuitable student? Were you hoping for another young girl instead?
Ah, you heard about that, did you? I'm afraid that was simply for the purpose of my experiments. I had no intention of teaching anyone. Anyway, as I said, I am off to bed. Good night, Aloise.
Wait, hold on, Professor Hanneman. I'm no good at magic, and for a long time I've been hoping to improve my skills. Some of the other knights look down on me for having no crest and no magical skill. I can't do anything about the crest, but the magic, maybe that's a different story. Please, I want to learn. You've got to help me.
Maybe I'm just a fool who goes soft in the face of someone's hunger for knowledge. I will help you. I cannot teach you any spells, but I can do my best to try and improve your magical affinity. Will that be enough?
Of course! How marvelous! I look forward to training with you then.
Very well. We will see what we can do. For now, I am off to bed, and you should do the same.
Professor Hanneman, what do you think of my progress so far?
To be blunt, you are still struggling more than I would expect.
Ah, I see. I suppose I need to give it a little more of that Aloise oomph.
How does someone remain so upbeat when they are accomplishing, well, absolutely nothing?
Come again? I didn't quite catch that.
Just jabbering to myself. Pay me no mind.
All right. I've been wondering, why did you agree to train me in the first place? When I told everyone you were teaching me, they could hardly believe it.
Well, if I'm completely honest, you're less of a student and more of an experiment. You have no crest, but you might be able to learn magic, despite our early results. And the potential magical ability of those who lack a crest is precisely what I hope to research.
That's a surprise. A crest scholar researching people without crests?
When studying crests, it is also important to understand the effects of their absence. After all, the very reason for all of my research is to grant the power of a crest to anyone who desires it. If it is in fact possible to increase the magical potential of people lacking a crest, then I find myself one step closer to my goal. Hence, my experiments with you are quite valuable to my research.
Oh, that's wonderful! What a great man you are, Professor Hanneman. Truly a man among men. Why, if I could prove it's possible to use magic without a crest, what an honor that would be. Oh, please, use me as you see fit. I won't let you down, I promise.
Could you express your enthusiasm more quietly? And if at any point you wish to discontinue...
Oh no, I'm ready to go. Let's make a breakthrough. Come on, Hanneman. You should be shouting too. A bright future awaits.
No. Shouts and screams are detrimental to scholarly research and to my ears.
Oh, I meant to tell you, I have some friends who struggle with magic as well. I'll ask them to help. Perhaps if we all chip in, we can make your dream a reality. Onward!
Alois! Forget it. That man never slows down. But I suppose I can appreciate why some are drawn to his exuberance. Ah, Professor. Always a pleasure to see you. I wonder, might you have a moment to chat? Come now. You have no need to be on guard. I'd never cause you harm. You're far too valuable a specimen, that is to say, too valuable a member of the Academy staff. Indeed, the further my crest research progresses, the closer you come to learning the truth of your heritage. Is it not so? When I learned you bore the lost crest, the very crest of flames itself, I set about learning everything I could about your past. What was the origin of your bloodline? How have the events of your life been shaped by your lineage? I became somewhat obsessed, I must admit. Nothing so crass as an investigation. No, I researched. I spoke to mercenaries whom you've worked with in the past to learn about your life before the Academy. Of course, I also contacted Gerald and his mercenary friends. Your father does keep rather interesting company. I'm excited to share with you what I learned, but I do ask that you correct me if I am mistaken on any account. The story begins with Gerald serving as captain of the Knights of Seros. There was a woman at the monastery with whom Gerald was quite close. At first, it seemed obvious this mystery woman was your mother. Alas, that cannot be the case. The timing is all wrong. As it was told to me, the woman in question passed away shortly before Gerald left the monastery. Yet your birth occurred sometime later, while Gerald was taking work as a mercenary. This, of course, presumes your age is accurately reported. If you were born sooner, well, the story would be quite different, would it not? It is intriguing, though, yes? Why is your age so difficult to pin down? For example, Gerald never once spoke of his time serving as captain of the Knights. That's quite a secret to keep for all those years. In the end, your old acquaintances had little definitive to say about either of you. However, they all agreed on one thing. Your father and yourself were a strong pair, warriors to be respected and feared. You in particular. In fact, many came to know you as the Ashen Demon. They say you would destroy your enemies without a hint of emotion on your face. The mercenaries I spoke to revered you as a living legend of sorts. So, that is what I learned. And I admit, it is barely more than I knew before. The next step in my research is to ask your blood for answers, and hope that it is more forthcoming than your past acquaintances. How are you doing, Professor? Would you care to join me for a cup of tea? It occurs to me that whenever we chat, I have a tendency to pester you with my questions and theories about your history. It seems only fair to speak on the topic of myself for once. And perhaps you might feel more positively inclined toward my research if I shared my own story. Not at all. I am quite honest in my motivations. Well, I suppose I should begin at the beginning, eh? I was born into a noble house of the Empire. Not a large house, mind you, but noble all the same. Our land holdings were small, but our bloodline was quite strong. So, as you can imagine, there were many of us in the family who carried the power of crests. I myself bear a minor crest. Our family's abundance of crests may be part of the reason I've been interested in the topic since I was just a boy. I dedicated myself to my studies, and after years of effort, I became lead crest scholar at the Empire's largest research institution. I had only imperial blood, and thus imperial crests, at my disposal in the Empire. So I came to Garrick Mach and devoted myself to my research during my time as a professor. My progress is slow, but with each revelation, I move ever closer to the answers I have sought for decades. Your cooperation as the bearer of the Crest of Flames ensures my research will continue to advance. In fact, it may bring me ever closer to the goal of uncovering everything there is to know about crests. I do hope you shall continue helping me advance in this field of study. Together, we will solve the mystery of your Crest of Flames, and our world will be the better for it. Shall we proceed? My lab instruments are fully prepared. I have a great number of tests I'm excited to carry out. No, don't worry. They won't hurt one bit. Which means that there are some elements of your power that cannot be explained by current theory. Although this may lead to a discovery that alters the very fabric of Crest research. Oh, pardon me, Professor. I became lost in thought, and I do tend to ramble. I suggest we call it a day. Do you concur? No, you mustn't push yourself too hard. When you are not in battle, you are so often here with me. I get so energized speaking with you. Well, I must remember to pull my head out of the clouds. That said, perhaps we should discuss things unrelated to crests from time to time. Some sort of silly, lighthearted topic might be nice, eh? I'm not especially skilled at small talk, alas. Let me see. Perhaps we should discuss... I know. Food. Not my strong suit, the culinary arts, but I do enjoy a good meal. Which kind of food do you prefer, Professor? Sweet or spicy? Same as myself. Yes, indeed. Oh, now my stomach is growling. An old colleague of mine theorized that those who bear crests favor sweet flavors over spicy. She suggested that the crest exerts some manner of influence over... Oh, there I go again. How embarrassing. We were supposed to be avoiding talk of crests, weren't we? Terrible habit of mine, finding a way to turn any conversation towards crests. I really should find a way to stop that. That is kind of you, Professor, but it's all right. If you were to lose your patience with me, it could have an incalculable impact on my research. That sort of thing has happened in the past, you know. Back when I was still in the Empire. At first, any lady I was spending time with would titter and say she didn't mind if I talked about crests. But at some point, she would always become fed up and stop listening to what I had to say. In the end, invariably, while I was particularly focused on my research, she would write to say we were done. I will do everything I can to keep that from happening this time. So falls the curtain on our time of war. Though I suppose one can never say all is over and done. You have much still to do, and I have miles to go before I achieve my own dreams. We both have many hardships in store for us, don't you think? Indeed. Well, that talk aside, I have a bit of a proposition for you. I believe it is better to travel the path through life with someone else, rather than go forward alone. And you are indispensable to my research. No, that's not the full truth. Yes, you are indispensable to my research, but also to my life. Altogether, I mean. I haven't any idea how to treat a woman properly, and so I've long thought I would spend my life alone. But then, well, I met you, and I want to share everything with you. If you happen to feel the same way, or, well, that is to say, would you accept this ring? Did I make you wait? Now, there is an unexpected development. My goodness. Well, since the feelings are mutual, I suppose there's no need to hold ourselves back any longer. Don't you agree? If so, I say we begin the next phase of our research. I wish to learn everything about you. Ready? No. There's no need to be ready. I'm not planning any tests. I don't want the power of your crest. I want you. First things first, I'd like to do a thorough study. And in return, perhaps you would care to learn all there is to know about me. I've never been the subject of someone else's research before, but I am open to the prospect. I can think of no one more suitable for the task than the woman I love. The future. I mean our future. It offers quite a lot to look forward to. I can't wait to see the results of this new undertaking.